Republicans and Democrats. And yet, all 100 seats in the state legislature are held by, you guessed it, Republicans or Democrats. That'll all change if one national group gets its way. The Centrist Project is setting up shop in Denver, planning to use our state as a test case. Can you elect people in the middle who aren't part of a major party? We crashed one of their early meetings to organize.
Everyone else is ignoring the way I feel.
I still haven't found a home in either party.
This group wants to elect a handful of independents in key districts, hoping to deny Republicans and Democrats enough seats to form a majority. They hope that will force more compromise. The Centrist Project calls itself an unparty, but plans to do a lot of the things that parties do. Find and recruit candidates, give them seed money, and help them fundraise and reach out to voters. Today on Balance of Power, an exclusive first look at their plans. We sat down with the Centrist Project's executive director, Nick Troiano, who once ran as an independent for Congress, and senior strategist Joel Searby, who was campaign manager for Evan McMullen's presidential campaign. Nick, Joel, thank you both for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Brandon.
So I know you guys are targeting the U.S. Senate. You're also targeting Colorado's state legislature. Why Colorado?
Well, Colorado has a long and strong history of independent leaders who put their state first to solve problems, but what we're increasingly seeing is that the same dysfunction and partisan tribalism from Washington is making its way back to state capitals, including here in Denver.
So the plan is you're going to target 5 seats out of the 100 in our state legislature, is that right? You won't tell me which 5 right now, though.
Not right now. We have our target districts. We're beginning candidate recruitment. Our goal is to run a slate of independent candidates for both state house and state senate.
So Joel, you ran the McMullen campaign. From someone who's been on the inside of this, why don't independent candidates win?
Well, I think there's a number of barriers to independents running for office, and the first one is psychological. You know, people, voters in any given state, believe a lot of lies, honestly, about the vote for an independent candidate is a wasted vote, it's electing the person that I don't want to elect. And so overcoming that psychological barrier and helping people understand that there are credible alternatives. You don't have to be forced into these two binary choices that the parties give you.
So, I mean, that's sort of the idea behind your unparty, is to up the credibility, right? You're going to be performing some of the functions that the Democratic and Republican parties perform now, like what?
Well, I mean, having run for office as an independent, I know that you start from scratch. Who are your donors? Who are your volunteers? Who are the people to work on my campaign? And so what's unique about the Centrist Project is that we are building right now the infrastructure necessary to help independents run competitive races so that they have a strong team, they have a network to go to that might support them, as well as some of the campaign infrastructure, the tools and technology needed. And so we're building that within the Centrist Project to help our candidates actually be competitive against both parties and win their races.
We're somewhere near 40% of Colorado are unaffiliated voters, and I've heard them described as a bloc before, but they're anything but a bloc. Some of them believe wildly different things about hot button issues. So how do you identify that candidate that's going to strike a chord with all those people?
Sure. So first, we're looking for independents with integrity, people who have good character, who believe in the power of public service to make a positive difference in people's lives. Second, we're looking for people who are aligned with our centrist principles. Broadly speaking, folks who believe in both fiscal and environmental responsibility, people who believe in social tolerance, but economic growth too. Sort of taking the best ideas from both sides. That's what it means to be a centrist. And then thirdly, people who have the ability to run viable campaigns based on their networks, their ability to raise money, their name recognition. We're in these races to win it, not just to make a lot of noise. And so we'll be talking to hundreds of people about this opportunity and finding the right people in the right places who can actually win.
So Joel, like every candidate's going to say they're for fiscal responsibility and for the environment, even if they have like different ideas about what that is. How are you going to get voters to go for somebody here if maybe they have a different view on abortion or guns, something that's not a central tenet of what you guys are trying to do?
I think it's really important to understand we're not asking people to give up core principles and values that they hold. This isn't the squishy middle. This is about a variety of people coming from this great pluralistic society we live in and being able to say, I'm going to put my state before my party. I'm going to put problem solving and practical solutions ahead of some of these issues. And so I think the key to the question you're answering about how do you get people to maybe support someone who may share a few different views from them is to say, listen, we have to have a shared primary goal, which is, in our belief, the quality functioning of a government that works for the people. And that's not happening in this partisan environment.
So you touched on this wasted vote idea earlier, and I think that's really the nut of what you're trying to get at here. I mean, a dollar's worth a dollar because you and I believe it's worth a dollar. People believe Democrats and Republicans are the only ones who can win. That's why all 100 lawmakers in the state legislature are Republicans and Democrats. How do you convince them? You can tell me you're viable 9 ways till Sunday, but how do you convince them if I actually vote for that person, they got a shot?
Well, I think part of it is just reframing the idea that there might be 3 choices on your ballot, but there are only 2 pathways. One is the status quo, rather, if a Democrat or Republican wins the race, we can expect more of the same out of the legislature, or there's a new path, which is maybe taking a bit of a risk in the short term to try something new. But I think given the historically high unfavorability of both parties, the dissatisfaction with government today, many people are in the camp right now of, I'm willing to try anything new besides these 2 tired brands that are out there that keep giving us the same suboptimal results.
Who's going to pick your 5 candidates, your slate of 5 candidates, and who's funding all this?
Well, we hope the people watching right now will help us find our candidates. If you go to centristproject.org/Colorado, you can say I'm interested in running or nominate someone that you think would be a great leader. And we're going to vet them according to our criteria of someone with integrity, aligned with our principles, and who's viable. There's no single large donor here with their own personal agenda. This has grown organically, actually, over the past few years of people coming together and saying we need a new option.
Are you staying open with your donors, or are you not disclosing donors?
All of our donors now are listed right on our website on our leadership page. Some come from more Democratic backgrounds, some come from more Republican backgrounds, and many have never been involved in politics before.
So let's say you guys are successful and neither the Democrats nor the Republicans have a majority, let's say in the Colorado House. Who's going to be Speaker? Practical question.
Well, that question goes to the independents who are going to be elected. I mean, they'll have incredible leverage to say who should lead this institution in a way that can forge consensus rather than bringing bills to the floor that's going to embarrass one side or the other. In the Alaska state legislature, there were 2 independents elected who formed a coalition with 3 moderate Republicans and the House Democrats, and they have a bipartisan governing majority. Something like that may happen here.
So kind of that messy process we've got in London right now with the hung parliament, you want to force that to happen here?
It could be a coalition government, but it could be fluid on any particular issue day to day.
Nick Troiano, Joel Searby with the Centrist Project. Thank you both so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
That's all for Balance of Power this week. Meet the Press is coming up next.